Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Welcome to Into the We're Getting Old.
Yes, our bones are cracking. Our minds are
also
just turning to dust.
Yeah.
But our spirits are here.
Also, yeah. I mean, they're also withering.
Right. Like, they're tepidly here, but they're here.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Into the Twilight, where we spend an hour pretending that the outside world doesn't exist, and we're just in a safe bubble of goofs and gaffs and shitty romance spaces about cryptids and stuff.
Right.
Where I get to fucking yell about authors, but I'm going to save that for about 20 minutes.
Fucking strap in, folks, because there's going to be some passionate yelling.
When Ferrero Rocher catches his hands, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Anyway. I hate being right. It's truly annoying. It's a curse. I hate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, how are you?
I'm good. I'm vibing. I wanted to talk about a show because hello. That's my brand, and that's our brand. And notably because we did not talk about The Ultimatum on this podcast, and I'm not going to.
Okay, listen.
I'm not gonna do it. But I noticed just by one of these, sometimes I just like to scroll through Peacock just to see what they have.
See if they're trying at all to promote the American Song Contest.
Right, and they're not. They never are. Hulu's doing more fucking legwork for that, and even that is bare minimum. But whatever. Anyway, I came across Temptation Island, which is fucking the same exact show, except a little different, but has been running for 4 seasons on the USA Network, and now I guess Peacock has it.
Interesting.
So let me break down. I've only seen a couple episodes, so I'm not an expert on this, but I just had to make the record known because it flummoxed me and my partner when we were watching this, because we were like, the bio of this sounds exactly like The Ultimatum. And if you're unfamiliar, The Ultimatum is which couples come on trying to test...
Who are 23
and have only been dating for like a year or two, have come in issuing an ultimatum to get married, and they date other people that have also, in the group or whatever, and live with them, and then live with their partner, and then choose if they want to do one or the other, if they want to leave, whatever.
If they want to lower their standards instead of just breaking up.
Yes, they just, it's...
Again, they've known each other for 2 years during a pandemic.
So Temptation Island is, on the surface, the same premise. Couples come in, they're not issuing an ultimatum, but they're like trying to like test their relationship and see if they should move forward, like, and have maybe a more serious plan down the road. And there's like, people are of, thank God, a little bit of older ages. Some people have been in relationships for like 7 years. Some people have been there for like 2 or 3. It's like it's a wider range, right? But there's only 4 couples.
Got it.
And they're like, okay, you came in here to like, test the waters, whatever. They all come to this nice little island. They have these little beach villas, one for the dudes, one for the ladies. And then they like separate. And the difference is, instead of like them dating each other, they bring 12 extra women and 12 extra dudes.
Oh my God.
To stir the pot. And this whole time, like, the couples are like totally separated. So like the couples live with the new dudes that they brought in as like a little hype house scenario. And they just like party and, whatever. Right. And it's bananas. And also what I'm learning too is that they have these little like bonfire sessions in which they like bring, let's say they bring the dudes or whatever, the original couple dudes. And this host guy is like next to a fire is like, hey guys, what's up? I'm going to show you on this iPad clips of your partners and what they're doing in there. And you just take that as you will, because they don't have any like really interactions besides like the first few nights or whatever. And it is bananas. I'm scared for everyone on there, just as I was for everyone on The Ultimatum. But it is wild.
Whoa. Okay, this sounds better.
It seems like objectively better because you have other people. It's not like you're dating in this weird pod, because like who knows if you're going to be even compatible with like the 2 other people
Exactly.
You know, like it's limited so extensively, right?
The other thing too that I found while watching The Ultimatum is I wish that they had color-coded wristbands because
Yeah.
like that the original couple had color-coded wristbands because when Nick and Vanessa would gather them up and they would start talking, there would be like 3 dudes talking over this one woman, and I was like, wait, who is the original person that they came with?
Yeah.
And I had no memory.
I swear to God, there were 2 white guys in the ultimatum of the original couples that I thought were the same dude until like 3 episodes
Literally.
in.
Now, here's the real question about Temptation Island. Do they have someone like Vanessa Lachey who can give pity hugs?
So they don't, and that's unfortunate. They had this one dude who, oh, I buried the lead here. His name is literally Mark Wahlberg, but it's spelled different. But his name is Mark Wahlberg, which is incredibly funny to me. And he's like fine. He's not like, you know, he's not super in the mix a lot of the time. Like he's just kind of like more of an absent host. He's kind of like a Chris Harrison kind of vibe. Like he's not super like giving a lot of pep talks or like advice or anything. But he's not like offensive.
So unlike Chris Harrison,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. A stark difference is that he seems nice, you know. But like he's just kind of there, which is fine.
I love this because I unfortunately did watch all of The Ultimatum and it made me very angry, but I do want a better version, and this sounds like exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that to the space.
How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing okay. My happy thing is also television. Shocker, truly.
Yeah, right. Of course.
I am caught up with the kids, and I am caught up on Euphoria.
Ooh,
now.
yes. Welcome.
And I did want to bring that to the space because I have had every possible thing about Euphoria muted on Twitter for a really long time.
Yeah, sure.
Mainly because for a while I didn't care. And then I started watching it and I did care.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I watched the last 3 episodes. Have you watched Euphoria, by the way?
Oh, yeah. I've watched all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I had originally started watching Euphoria, I was like, I'm not going to like this show. Like,
Right.
I don't understand why it's in high school. Like, meh.
Right.
And now my opinion on the show has like completely changed because a lot of the stuff that's covered is very much what was prevalent when I was in high school. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me laugh that there are some people who think this show glamorizes drug use.
It's bizarre to me.
When every single episode, my opinion when I finish watching it is, wow, I'm really grateful that I like am not an addict like my family.
Right. Yeah.
Because holy shit. Like there's no way that I would come out of watching one of these episodes and be like, you know what I want to do is do drugs.
Right.
Like this show does better at what was it called? Like the fucking Dare campaign.
Yes.
Than Dare was when I was a kid.
Which is wild because like Dare like had a whole hissy fit about the show, especially in the second season. There was like a whole lot of drama or whatever, being like, this is glamorizing, whatever. And it's like, this is way more effective than Dare, in my opinion.
100%.
But like, go off, I guess. Like,
sure. I can't believe that would be the opinion someone would get while watching this.
Right.
Like, this show is hard to watch. I had to, except for last night, I have usually had to do like 1 episode max. And usually it's been like a little bit less just because for so many reasons, this show is very heavy.
Yeah.
And I would say that for, even if you do not have any of the traumas witnessed or like experienced by the characters. But I think that my opinion going into the show was very much a like, I'm too old for this. And I have oddly found myself talking a lot about it in therapy. So
hey. Mission accomplished. Euphoria. You did it.
So fucking Sam Levinson, fuck you.
Right. How dare you?
Yeah.
I think the second season is really good. Like, I think especially the whole solo Rue episode where she's just running is like the best episode they've ever fucking made. Like, period. Like, it's so good. Yeah, it's just I'm glad you're on the horse again. I'm glad you're here.
I'm here. I'm with the teens.
Yeah.
Do I find it very weird to watch like adults playing teenagers? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know that I would feel any more comfortable watching actual teenagers do this content.
Right, for sure.
So
That's kind of the sticky situation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I am excited to see the next season. If anyone, I don't know that there's anyone but me who has not watched it, but
yeah,
I will say that it was a happy thing to finish it, but it's also very heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We have a small amount of current events, but they're very important.
But there's
this week.
There's so much. So much. I'm so excited.
Where would you like to start? This feels like a very important holiday for you.
Yeah, this is my Christmas. We have 2 very important Case 2 movie news announcements.
She had her birthday and then she dropped all of the news.
Right, exactly, which is God bless. We love to see it. We can start off with this bodybuilder one, because sure. So, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but I remember like a few months ago, maybe like during like Sundancey times or whatever, Case 2 like said in an interview that like she really fucked with Rose Glass, and she had only done like one movie, and like it's a great movie. Saint Maud is awesome, but I was like, interesting. And then now she's like, oh, just kidding, we're doing a movie together. I manifested that shit, which I'm already into. So this movie called Love Lies Bleeding for A24, about the competitive world of bodybuilding, already sold.
Because sure,
already in it. And Case 2 notably plays the protective lover of a female bodybuilder.
I am going to ascend into the sun.
I'm gonna throw up.
Mama threw up.
I threw up.
I didn't know that I could dream this big.
Right. I can have thoughts like this.
I didn't know that someone had tapped into my biggest desires and was like, okay, sure. Yeah, we got it.
Right.
We can do that here at A24. Welcome home.
Ugh, I want it so bad. And it's gonna happen. We're gonna get it.
And Rose Glass said, yes, we got it. We got it here.
Right.
Welcome.
I'm very excited. I think like bodybuilder stuff is very fascinating, and especially if it's gay as well. I think that'd be very. Yeah. I would like to see it. I'm very into it.
And the idea that like, I love it when Kristen plays a character who gets mad.
Right. Yes.
That's very important to me. We've got competition here. Mm-hmm. We've got body issues.
Right.
We've got probably sexism here.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
I'm in it. Hello. There's romance. There's the American dream.
Take all my money.
I need a poster immediately.
Right.
I will just sit and wait for any more news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'm also incredibly excited because we finally got a trailer for Crimes of the Future, which we have been tepidly talking about for like a year or two, maybe, you know? This was kind of teased a little earlier and stuff. And I all of my favorite sickos in one room. Just like all of my favorite. We got Cronenberg. We got Viggo Mortensen. We got K-Stu. We got Leah Seydoux.
It's like, happy birthday, Cody. Merry Christmas, Cody.
Right. All
this
of it.
This movie was made for you. I do feel like we've been talking about this for about a year now. Because I remember when we just got the cast announcement.
Yeah.
And you ascended.
Right, yes.
But how do you feel about this teaser trailer? And the stills.
Yeah, we got stills and we got a teaser trailer. I am ready to run to the theater. right now. Because listen, my boy David Cronenberg never misses. And when he does, it's still a great attempt, and it's still fun, and it pushes things.
It's still nasty.
It's still nasty and sick, whatever. And also, like, the whole Neon has also been like leaning into the sickos market, with like Titan and like all of these, just like body horror fun like sicko content. And this feels like a natural fit. And this teaser trailer is just like, hey, let's just stick some tubes into your body and just go with the punches. And we're creating synthetic life and shit, and we're gonna just redefine humanity and sex and all of these things. And I'm just, I need it. I want it. I love it.
The teaser trailer is very short.
Yes. Yeah.
But it is gooshy.
It's quite gooshy.
And surprisingly goosh-packed for the short amount of time.
Yeah.
It is also visually dark. I would also say content dark.
Right.
Perhaps.
Yes. Yeah.
But I kind of knew that going in because it is a Cronenberg piece. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I love about the stills that we get is Kristen seems to be channeling her inner sicko.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we've gotten that in a while / ever.
Yeah.
And that makes me very excited.
Right. Yeah, I loved seeing her too in like the more the brunette era. It's giving very personal shopper, kind of like little greasy hair moment, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Love to see it.
So I don't know what this is, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
It looks very creepy. Lots of good things coming out.
So excited. Love to see it. Content, baby.
This is just a little teaser of news. Jamie Dornan, as we have talked about over the last couple of weeks, is still speaking.
Right.
And people are still listening. I'm not entirely sure why people.com found this to be news.
Sure.
But they decided this week to publish a piece about Jamie Dornan talking about the possibility of becoming the next James Bond. Mm-hmm. Now, if you, like myself, are like, I didn't realize that was still a conversation that we were having.
And especially not that Jamie Dornan was on the table at all.
Right, exactly. The conversation that I was aware of was that, like, over the past year, 2 years, like, Idris Elba's name had been kind of bounced around. A lot of people had said, now perhaps a woman.
Yes, right.
Instead. But Jamie Dornan has said, what about me? What if me as Bond? That would be fun. That would be cool. We've never had me do it, so that would be interesting.
Right.
But did you want to talk about the quote that you laughed about? The prejudgment piece?
This man,
why is he still doing this?
I know. He basically was talking about how, all these, like, casting announcements, right? People, like, do a lot of judging, right? Before they see their performances, which, I guess as an actor, it's a fair thing to have reservations on, whatever. But he says, prejudgment is such a fucking disease. It's a disease in all our culture. In my line of work, sure. But in general, people prejudge based on fucking anything, really. And it's very sad. Look at the reaction when Rob got cast as Batman. It was like 90% negative. And then went on to talk about Daniel Craig and all these things and said fuck a lot in all of these quotes, to be fair. He held no punches. But yeah, he is still going to bat for his former roomie / man, he always has to keep talking about to sometimes stay in the news, which go off with God, whatever, do your thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like someone may have just interviewed him when he was tired and tipsy after something.
Yeah.
And this is when he decided, like, you know what? this is when I'm going to go on a rant about people making judgments of a film based on the cast alone.
Right.
But it's like, Jamie, go home.
Yeah.
Jamie, go to bed.
Jamie, you have kids.
Jamie, you have kids. Go home and stop just saying Rob's name because you know that,
And like,
people
none of
are
these people
common
need you to fight for them. You know what I mean? Rob's
They
doing
don't.
fine. Daniel Craig's doing great.
okay.
You know, like, it's okay, man.
Right. It's okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
but
for
it's
sure.
Okay. Go home. Such a weird dude. But okay. Sure. Thanks, Jamie. Okay. When we last left off with this fucking book, we were suspicious because things were feeling a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis Dimitri and Rose.
Rose and Dimitri are going to just like nicely walk off into the sunset, and there will be no more books, and then it was over. And that's the end of this episode. Thank you for listening.
Right. Thank you
We did
so
it.
much. They were just holding hands.
And
they were
smooching.
like, yeah, we're going to go save Eddie and all the other people who were captured. Things are going to be great. We decided we were going to end Shadow Kiss right there at the 90% mark in this book and not read the last 3 chapters because why would anything good happen? AKA, I hate to be fucking right.
Yeah, I wish that was true. Unfortunately, we did read these last 3 chapters. And
Yeah, so can you let me know what happens in
Right.
chapter 27, please?
oh, I don't wanna. Okay, listen. So
Did you remember this?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Up until like
Did you all set me into a fucking trap?
no, this was not an intentional trap. But when we were talking about Dimitri and stuff, I was like, I do remember something, right? I just didn't know what exactly it was. And I didn't want to like, meddle with our thoughts and stuff. But I was like, listen, there was something, but I don't, and it's been very long since I've read it the first time. And I was like,
Sure.
I don't really remember exactly what it was, but I thought it was not good. Because I was like, I don't think he's dead, but I think there's like something.
Right, because why would it be good?
Right, of course. We were given
Right.
all these things, but I was like, And then once we got to like more of the later chapters, I was like, oh no. Oh no, I remember. Oh no.
I just want to say
Yeah.
ahead of time, why the fuck did you all want us to read these books?
I'm feeling a lot of feelings.
Because I didn't sign up for these emotions. I signed up to make fun of a book, make fun of nasty relationships.
Right. Go to horny
critique
jail,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, to send people to horny jail and not get attached to a character who is Gone Girl,
Yeah.
So what's that about?
Right.
Why were there no warnings of that? You all were just like, read Vampire Academy.
It'll be so
it's just like
fun.
Twilight. It'll be so fun.
We're all gonna love it.
Fuck you.
We're gonna have a good time, and there's be all good vibes.
Fuck you. God damn it. Anyways, so what happens in chapter 27? I have no idea.
Okay, so chapter 27. Dimitri and Rose walk back. Thankfully, like, nobody really notices that they were kind of like canoodling for a little while.
Yeah.
Which is good.
They don't see like smeared lipstick on both of them.
Right, exactly. And they're getting ready to like fully go out there. Like, it's time, the hours are waning. Their hours are waning. They got to go and do it. They have all these people that they need. Notably, they have like a bunch of guardians that they finally came back after, the people they were waiting on. And then also they have some of the classmates who Rose describes as being drafted for duty, which,
Yeah.
mostly to like purvey around or to protect the campus and the school. But Rose is like, I'm one of the few that's going to be in there in the sauce. Let's go. So they go over sort of the plan. They have like all these people set up, whatever. They're like, let's go. We got this. Everyone has like, we also got our Moroi out here doing their magic. And
Yeah, they have like 5 miles
Yeah.
to get to.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this in like just over an hour. Which, damn.
Yeah, like, okay.
They're fucking hustling.
Yeah, they're speed walking. They're just like...
Right, exactly. This is when I wish that their vampires could like run fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. See, maybe, our fucking cursed woman, Stephanie Meyer, was onto something about the the little...
Yeah, they could get there in like a minute.
Yeah, would save a lot of time,
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And so they're like surveying the situation. They're getting into the cave around it and stuff. And they're all kind of splitting up. Most of the adults kind of like go into the cave. Rose and some of the folks are kind of like standing back a little bit.
It's so wild because like before they even go in, because they like split off into two, because that was
like two
battle
camps.
plans.
Yeah, because they have like the
Yeah.
out entrance and like the other sort of like they're kind of like going around, and trying to spook them.
And Dimitri and Janine go to the different group than Rose was in. And when they split off, Rose looks at Dimitri and she says in her mind, she's like, everything I felt was worry I'd never see them again. And it's like, bitch, yeah, I got it.
Right, okay.
I know what's gonna happen.
Okay. All right.
Especially when like, so they're all waiting, which I think this is hilarious, right? That like one guardian is tasked with like chilling with the novices, and
right?
Essentially, is like it's like at a water slide, right? Where like that one lifeguard is like trying to make them go in one at a time,
right?
And while Rose is out there, she's like standing out in the woods right outside this cave, and she looks over and like Mason's there, and he's like just sad.
Yeah, just being like, just sort of like withering, be like, "Hello, I'm here if you need me."
I'm just here as an omen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just think about me.
Just look over when you need me.
We get a few people come out, which is nice. No Strigoi yet, Just we have Abby, who was one of the students or whatever. Our friend Abby, who we know and love so much.
Yep, we definitely know her.
Definitely know her. She's great. Cool.
And she seems like kind of fucked up, but she's not. She's like just scraped up and like, dirty, but she seems fine.
Right. She's not like there's
she's
no like evidence of her being like used for like a snack or anything, like or super beaten up. She's just kind of like frazzled and dirty and crying a little bit. And then we get Maroy comes out, a teacher. And he had been a snack. Which, yikes. And so everyone just being like, what's going on in there?
Right.
And the teacher dude is like, yeah, it's kind of a fucking mess out there, but we're escaping. There's just like a lot of chaos going on in there. It's hard to tell what's even going on there. There's a lot of distractions. And they brought up the whole fire thing too. And Rose is like, we don't have fucking time to talk about this ethics discussion about the fire. Just you're safe and alive.
We just need to go.
Okay, get out of here. Okay. Get a few more folks in here, and then it's just quiet. No one comes out. No one can really hear anything. It's just kind of like, what's going on?
It's not great.
Hate this.
Yeah.
And at some point, they have enough people where they're like, okay, we need some folks, just bring them back to the academy.
While we still have daylight left.
Yeah, while we'll just like be out here if anything.
Yeah.
It goes wild,
Because Rose is noting that like the sun is getting a lot lower.
It's a lot lower.
They were already kind of pressed for time.
Yeah, they had wasted a lot of time waiting for these fucking guardians to come in here.
Emil, who's like the earpiece person, is like, listen, we're not doing great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, because it's just basically you and another person.
Right.
So
we need backup, all right? So let's figure it out. And then Rose's like, all right, I'm going in. Let's go, girls.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is like Emil, who's that guardian who's outside, realizes that like he wants to go in and help, but he has to be the one getting orders outside.
Right.
So he either goes in and helps and leaves both the novices outside,
right,
or he sends them in and is outside in case something happens.
Right.
So he's like, fuck.
I guess.
Okay, you random dude.
Yeah.
Go inside.
Yeah,
Rose, go with him.
Steven.
And she's like,
Right,
yes,
yes.
fucking finally.
Right. This cave scene is
hard to imagine.
right. It's like, and like, Ferroche, very good at writing action, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like you can kind of see the whole, you know, all these things going on, and like there's such a quick pace, right? And it's very confusing and hectic, but you're still like grounded somewhere in a moment. You know, there's like a wall falling in from a cave, and then there's people fighting each other. She's kind of like seeing Dimitri and Alberta and some guardians sort of like trapped, you know, and realizing, okay, we gotta like, you know, step up right now to like get some of these other dudes out so we can chip away so they can like also fight and not be overwhelmed by like 10 Strigoi or whatever.
Yes.
And also she notes too that it's the escape place, that like the place they went in, which is also one of the places they will be leaving from, is like a crawl space. So that also proposes like a barrier, you know, which means they kind of need to get rid of the Strigoi so they're not in like a compromised position when they're crawling and can't like fight up and stand, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then Homegirl fucking steps into battle. She is like, she is staking people left and right. She's like, boom, bam, let's go. Tag teaming with fucking Steven or whatever. And just going like one after the other. Barely even using like the cool fire trick and stuff. They're just going raw dog like steaks. Let's go.
Yes.
Which is very nice to see.
In this like area, she makes a point to notice that there are 10 Strigoi.
Yeah.
Just in this space.
Right. Yes.
And they're slowly lowering that number.
Right.
One by one.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she notes like, okay, they're down to 2, which is great. Did a lot of work here. Alberta like makes a call being like, go, get the fuck out of here. That's enough people that we can like make some sizable movements here.
Right.
And Dimitri's out here staking Strigoi left and right. Just like Steven's out here.
Yuri on Ice also.
Yuri on Ice is also out there. Rose kind of like looks back and was like, I kind of want to help, you know, and they're just like, fucking leave, get out. Like, stop. Right. Stop it. They got this. We're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they had to start making kind of like strategic
calls.
Decisions at this point, which is not great.
Yeah.
And so now they go from that like big area to more twisty turns, which is not good.
Right, because they're like, oop, well, we got those guys, but it seems like there are more here probably than we initially thought. And these little twists and turns feel very easy to get spooked by Strigoi.
Exactly.
You know? And someone's like, oh, listen, what's the vibe? You know, Steven, what's the vibe? Should we finish them off or should we go? And Alberta, again, makes a quick judgment call. It's like, we got to go. You know, we got as many as we could. You know, we're going to lose light soon. It's not safe to, like, try to do it again because we don't know how many other Strigoi there will be.
Yes. We do get confirmation from Dimitri at this time, because Rose does ask, that Eddie did get out.
The fucking tease that Miss Ferrero-Rocher did throughout this entire chapter was fucked up, because they kept being like, oop, there's probably a lot of people didn't make it, or they didn't see any of these people, and who knows, are they dead, are they dead, are they dead? And they waited till the last fucking second to be like, oh yeah, Eddie's cool. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, Dimitri says, like, we had to practically, like, drag him out.
Yeah.
Because...
he wanted to fight.
Not because he was, like, dying, but because he just wanted to, like, keep fighting
Eddie,
people.
my man.
I love him. Ugh. And so, because they're in these, like, twists and turns, these twists and turns trying to get to the exit, it's obviously, like, easier for... It's like a fucking haunted house, right? Very easy for someone to just come and, like, ambush you.
Yes, correct.
And one of the things from last episode is Rose has her fucking Spidey sense.
Right. Her nausea. Yeah.
And so there's, like, 1 second when they get to this, like, T intersection in the caves before, like, 7 more Strigoi ambush them. And they had just been, like, lying in wait, like a fucking haunted house.
Yeah.
Just ready for anyone to come in.
Yeah. This poor dude, Alan, gets fucking his, like, head snapped, or his neck snapped immediately.
Alan,
yeah. Our favorite guardian,
love.
Alan, we love and know.
But famous country singer Alan Jackson, gone.
Who only existed to give Rose the PTSD of seeing Mason get his neck snapped in the same exact way. Great, thank you, Rochelle, for that.
Fuck you, God.
Has she been through enough? Come on.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
No.
The answer is no, because anyway.
Yeah.
So, there's, like, apparently it gets more narrow, because we're in a fucking Magic School Bus tour of someone's body right now.
Right, yeah, literally.
Like, and there's, like, more and more guardians are, like, being picked off at this point, but they're, like, trying to get to the exit. And Rose just sees, like, the faint light, right? It's, like, purplish light of the exit.
She's like, it's there,
like,
let's go.
Like, that green light, like, I want it.
Right.
And so they just start, like, running. And she, like, her spidey sense has not gone away. Yeah, right?
They're still quite there. And they're, like, seeing the sun, and seeing, like, all these people or whatever, and then being like, oop, Janine is here, coming down with her party. They're so close. She's almost here. We got this. And then, boom, 3 more Strigoi. Let's go. And it's like, God, no.
And she keeps saying all these people who, like, we don't know.
Right.
But, like, Celeste,
Sure.
Miss Carmack, notable family people.
Right.
That we love.
Totally.
But enough that, like, it's probably distracting Rose from running to the exit.
Right. And notably, one of the 3 that got is Dimitri. And
by the fucking blonde Strigoi.
Yes, by that fucking dude.
By the one who last week was
like speaking in riddles, Lisa? And like, yeah, and like, hey, Dragomir.
Right.
And she makes a note too of being like, which is so sad, of being like, he was like, I've never seen Dimitri falter. He was always faster and stronger than everyone else, but not this time. And it's like,
Rochelle,
hey, can we stop this?
Yada.
Please. I don't like it.
I swear to God. It's like she sees the fucking blonde Strigoi like fangs sink into Dimitri's neck. And then the Strigoi has the fucking audacity to like make eye contact with her. And then she...
Sir, how dare you? How fucking dare you?
So, of course, Rose is just, like, screaming.
Yeah, and being like, I have to go back. We can't just leave, And now more Strigoi, at the final point, she sees, like, at least 10 of them, which is, like, bad, because there's only, like, a couple.
Because they're just multiplying.
Right, and there's, like, only 3 people, and Dimitri's fucking getting got, And she's like, we have to go back. And Jeannie's like, fucking no, get out of here. Like, you can't do this. We can't leave him. I mean, you have to leave him. You have to go. Right. We're not, like, he's gonna die. Like, you gotta, whatever. Like, you gotta go, okay? And, like, Janine, like, slaps her, literally. And he's like, run. That dude is dead. Fucking get over it. You're not going to join him. So get out.
One, fuck you, Rochelle.
Yeah, how dare you?
Because this is the one time that I think Rose has ever seen her mom panic. And that's rude.
Right. Disrespectful.
That's no. And there's a part too where Rose is like, she couldn't stop staring at the cave where she says like, back where Dimitri was, back where half of my soul was. And I was like, fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you. But she just keeps like running. She just like runs out of the cave. Yeah. Absolutely fuck this. So 28 is basically like the 4 pages in New Moon.
Literally, it is just waiting. It's like the next 12 hours were the longest in my life. Yeah. It's a bunch of waiting. Because there's nothing she can do, and just her worrying and stressing, and not really talking to anyone, or eating or sleeping, or doing anything. Because at this point,
because how could you?
Right. I mean, yes, of course. Like, she's just fucked up right now, you know? But
because if the 7-foot leather duster dude can get got by a Strigoi, then what does that mean
for anyone?
For her life.
Yeah, and for her especially. Yeah. So she's freaking out. You know, she notices that, like, okay, they rescued 12, which is, you know, not an unknoble, including Eddie, thank God he's alive. So not an unnoble feat, which means that who's missing are 6 guardians, including Dimitri, obviously. So that's, and she's now concocting, like, we gotta do rescue mission, baby. We gotta go. How many hours is it?
Yeah, we gotta go back.
How many hours until morning time again, until sunrise? And I'm gonna be right back on there. I'm not gonna sleep. I'm not gonna eat. I'm just gonna get ready for this next fight.
Right. And of course, she like goes back to the medical center.
Yeah.
To that same doctor.
Get her punch card,
like,
you know.
Yeah. And the doctor apparently decides that she doesn't have a concussion and just sends her on her way to bandage her own scraps because of course the like medical center is
super overwhelmed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this chapter kills me.
Yeah.
Because Rose ends up going to the chapel because one, it's like for the most part pretty quiet, right? There's other people that are there who are also trying to figure out like what the fuck do I do? Yeah. But I think she ends up finally like falling asleep just because it's quiet there.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of other people there, obviously, because like a lot of people have died or whatever in the last 24, 48 hours. But she just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like sit here for a minute, maybe think about it, and then she just dozes off to sleep in the pews for like what seems like hours. Until Lissa wakes her up and is like, have you been here the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk to you.
I've been trying to like find you everywhere. And to be fair, like if there was a place for her to fall asleep on a grounds that aren't safe and she's learned aren't safe, it's gonna be it's gonna be holy ground.
Right, yeah.
She knows now that like that is in fact a safe place for her to be, so
right.
I get it.
Yeah, listen, it makes sense.
Yeah. And it's not like she meant to fall asleep. And besides, like the sun's not even up, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
This conversation kills me.
Yeah, she's like, hey, you should eat, first of all. And then like heals her little cuts and stuff. And Rose like, you really shouldn't be doing that. And Lisa's like, everyone knows, like, it's not like something I need to do be a secret anymore. Like, it's fine. And it's not like taking up a lot of my juju or whatever.
Right.
It's okay. And then Rose is like, lightning bolt. What if you did that to Dimitri? Right. Obviously, you gotta, you know, he might be dead, he might not be dead, but if he is dead, you could still bring him back, you did to me, and then we could all be shadow kissed together, and that'd be like so sick. And it's just like going a million words a minute, you know.
Right.
And Lissa's like, oh, sweetie, I can't do that, you know. That's, you know, I can't, you know, it'll be similar to like Victor, like the abuse and stuff of just like abuse of power, and I can't go down that path. And Rose is just like, how dare you? Like, fully goes off, super hurt and emotional, obviously, of just being like, I would do fucking anything for you. And I'm asking you.
And have done anything for you.
Right. And there's one thing I fucking want from you and need from you. And you're going to be like this, and you're not even going to try. It's fucked up.
This hurts so bad.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Because it's just like, obviously, Lissa can't do this.
Right.
That's not how this works. No. And the only reason why it worked for Rose was like it was immediate.
Right. It hadn't been like hours.
And she didn't even mean
likely.
to.
Yeah. Right. It was an accident.
And Lissa's like super valid of being like, one, I literally can't do this, but also I can't do this because trauma.
Right.
And Rose is like, well, first of all, rude.
Yeah.
Now you draw lines. But it's just so sad because I get this is that stage in grief where it's like you'll do anything, right?
It's just so desperate and needing any sort of
yeah.
Right.
And it's just so fucking sad to see.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets to the point too where in the next scene Rose is just like standing at the wards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, Fro, who hurt you?
Right, are you?
What? Like,
okay.
and the answer is no, obviously, because like why what happened and why are you taking it out on me?
Yeah. So fucked up.
It's so fucked up. Yeah, seeing all of when they do end up doing, because it's not a rescue mission, it's a recovery mission.
Yes.
Like they're going back for the dead.
Right.
And so to see all of these stretchers come back is just haunting.
Yeah, it's just like one after another, and it's like just feeling so cold and so, and she's like, wow, I wonder if I'll see their ghosts and stuff next time I'm outside the wards and stuff, which is like, oh God. And she notices that there's only 5, and there were 6 people, notably, that they had not retrieved the first time. And Dimitri is the one person that was not in the cave, or one of 2, I guess. I guess there was another person that was like fully taken away or whatever, because she was dead. But they were like, this, I think they took him, and Molly, I guess Molly was a Moroi, who was previously a snack and then was like very clearly like out of blood when the first time they got her, so was probably dead. And Dimitri was the other.
It's wild to me because Janine went on this recovery mission while Rose stayed behind the wards. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time that we have seen Janine lie to Rose. When she's like, oh, well, we don't know what happened to Molly and we don't know what happened to Dimitri. Mm-hmm. Like, it's likely that they're both just dead and that the Strigoi just, like, took their bodies.
Right.
Like, finished them off as snacks and then just, like, dumped them somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like, Janine, no.
Right. You can't do this.
Molly probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, why would they take someone as big as Dimitri?
Right.
And not change him?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
And Rose, like, fully calls on her bullshit or recognizes her bullshit and, like, runs outside the wards. And it's like, hey, Mason, hey, bud, I need ghosts. I need ghost assistance right now. And she notes, too, that he seems pretty... a little more transparent, I guess, than usual. Kind of like a flickering little light or whatever. And she's just like, hey, Mason, my brother in Christ, my brother in truth.
Literally.
Is Dimitri dead? And he shakes his head. And she asks, is he alive? And he also shakes his head.
God,
and Rose is like, motherfucker, I cannot believe this. This is so fucked up. She's like throwing up, shaking, crying, throwing up.
Literally.
And it's like on her knees. And it's like, is he a Strigoi? And he hesitates. And he nods.
He'd forgotten what the word was.
Right, yeah. He's kind of on, he's been drained the past few weeks of Rose's calls and stuff. He's doing a lot of work right now. She notices or realizes that the thing in the fortune or the tarot or whatever, that he was going to lose what he valued most wasn't necessarily her or his life. It was his soul. Bum, bum, bum. Rochelle, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What is your problem?
First of all, the next time I see you, Rochelle, it's fucking on set. I swear to God, I did not ask to be invested in these two.
Yeah. And yet, that's how she gets you. She's so good at it.
I'm so over it. Anyway, so this last chapter of this third book, this is the climax of this, is that Rose's, the love of her life, is not dead, but that she has to do what she talked about in the first book, which is like, I gotta go kill the love of my life so that he's not just like stuck in this fucking purgatory.
Right.
So it's been like a week or whatever.
Yeah, and we get Adrian content. Yeah, she's like,
door.
Adrian, open up. And he's like, hey, bestie, what's up?
He's like watching fucking Desperate Housewives
With
He's
drinking
like,
out of a full bottle of vodka. Like,
yeah, he's like, you want to hang out?
yeah, is this a good time? You know, it's like 12 p.m. or whatever. You want to just like watch some shows with me or whatever. And he's like, hey, haven't seen much of you. And she's like, this is not what I'm here for, okay? I don't want to do this shit.
I didn't want to be perceived.
Didn't want to be perceived?
So
is that a crime? Whatever.
everyone wanted to do memorial services.
Yeah.
Kept asking me how I was.
And I fucking
They didn't
hate
like that I said that I was bad.
Right.
So I just didn't want to be around.
I just fucked off for a week. Is that okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Too much going on. And she's like, hey, listen,
Right.
the real reason I want to talk to you is I know you're rich.
Money, please.
And I need money, please. And he's like, what? For why? Okay. And she's like, I'm leaving.
I saw this really cool toaster on the TV, and I need to buy it.
Yeah, I in my like week-long solo journey, I've been watching a lot of like QVC,
Yeah.
So
I need a new wardrobe.
yeah, so that's the vibe. But he's like, no, I'm leaving the academy. I gotta do something. I'm not gonna tell you what the fuck it is. I have something to take care of, but I need to get out of here, and I don't have any monies. So,
Yeah.
can you help, please?
Yeah.
He's very drunk, so obviously he kind of leans back into the whole, you're just doing this for your fucking boyfriend. You're just playing how I feel about you. You're like giving me fuck me eyes or whatever. And it's fucked up. It's cruel and it's rude to me. I don't like it. It's not fair. And
Yeah.
Rose is like, yeah, I guess. I guess you're right. But like, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do out here. I got to kill my boyfriend.
Exactly.
Okay. So I need to I need to do this. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So can we just do this?
Can I just have the money? Is that so bad?
Right. And he notes too of like the whole, maybe it is good that you leave because, you'll get over him and you'll be away. You wouldn't be hurting Lissa's aura. You wouldn't be like stealing all of her whatever and all this shit, And Rose gets to clarify that like, well, actually you were kind of right, but you were also not very right. There's other things going on. It's very complicated. Right. I don't really want to get into it now, but like there's other reasons that I'm seeing the ghosts. It's not really Lissa. Whatever. It's a whole thing. Can I have money, please?
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Anyway, hand out money, please.
Yeah. The thing that really took me by surprise here is that even though he's like drunk as fuck, he's like, when you come back, will you give me a fair shot?
Yeah. Which.
And I was like,
okay.
Hello? When he finally explains it, he's like, okay, listen. Everything that I did, I was for real.
Yeah.
But you were so gone, girl, for Dimitri that, like, you didn't even notice.
Yeah.
So if you go and do your thing, when you come back, will you take me seriously?
Yeah. And, she didn't... She's
like
sure. Like,
yeah, she's like, yeah.
Whatever it takes, dude. Yeah. Which is interesting.
It is.
But, like, whatever. And he's like, all right, here's what's up. I got a little offshore bank account in Missoula.
Literally.
You just like let them know what's up and just sign for it and you'll be good.
Right.
So.
Platos is in Bitcoin.
Right. Right, exactly.
Right. So she told him that she was leaving the next day and we get to the next day. I thought that I was done with pain at this point.
And guess what? We get more.
Guess what? I was not.
Yeah.
Because Rose wakes up early, and the first thing that she does is goes to like the admin building.
Yeah, and she has a bunch of paperwork.
So, yeah. That's like my worst nightmare, is like starting off my shift and the first thing someone comes in is like, actually, I have 6 returns. And it's like, okay, well,
right.
Damn it. But yeah, she's like, well, I'm dropping out,
So that's it. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, you can't do that. And she's like, actually, I can. I have this all filled out. You just got to give me the stamp. I know how paperwork works. Get me the fuck out of here. And like, they bring whole Kurova in here, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, well, sorry, this is it. Either you do it or you can't hold me hostage here. So whatever. And it's not like my mom is here, and it's my 18th birthday, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yep.
Okay? So suck it.
yeah. It's the fact that she's 18 today, I think, gives her that agency. And they're like, well, damn it.
Yeah, you got us there. Shit. Right?
Yeah. It's wild.
That's going to be for the next contract and handbook. Fuck.
It's wild that she's just like, okay, well, you know, it's spring now. Snow's gone. I got the silver steak.
Yeah.
Just gonna take my knapsack and go.
Right, got it. I'm ready to go. And she senses Lissa and like kind of turns around and is like, God damn it. Like, I was trying to like make a little Irish goodbye situation here. I just kind of wanted to like fuck around and get out. And no, Lissa's there. And they're like, hey, what the fuck is going on?
And she's just crying.
Just sad.
Like, Lissa is just...
It's not even like angry
crying.
yet. It's just like sad. Fully just sad
Yeah.
and doesn't understand and feels all of these emotions. Being like, I'm your best friend. You didn't tell me about Dimitri. I feel like this is fucked up. Like, we were supposed to tell each other everything. And like how serious this was and whatever. And now she thinks it's her fault because of the whole, you know, Rose and Dimitri having to protect her and not be with each other kind of vibes. And she's just like, I just feel like you don't trust me anymore. And like that you love him more than me and all these things. And it's like,
It's so heartbreaking. It's wild because like Lissa figured it out.
right.
I think maybe even before Rose did.
Right.
That Rose was leaving.
Yeah.
Because Lissa remembered that
The
like,
mall
shopping
thing.
trip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mall thing. When they talked about Strigoi. And
how they'd rather
that
be
they
dead.
would rather, yeah, that they would rather be dead than become like a monster. Yeah, thank you. I agree.
+1.
And it's... First of all, Rochelle, fuck you for having planned this out so far.
Yeah.
I think what hurts is Lissa sees this as Rose choosing Dimitri over her.
Right.
And I think Rose sees it as like a duty.
Right. Like it's
Like,
something that she has to do. Right. There's no other option.
Yeah.
He can't just be Strigoi. Like, it's not about
Right.
Lissa really in that moment. But Lissa obviously doesn't really see that or feel that.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah. Especially when it's like, thank you, I agree.
Right.
And it's like, this is very much the first time that Rose is ever she's not really even putting herself first, but she's just like trying to close something out. And Lissa's like, but me. And it's like, Lissa, no. And that sucks because they don't really reach a resolution here. And the fact that Rose like takes off her like tchotchke.
it's like, I can't because this is for a guardian. And I'll get it back when. And she says when, even though she probably shouldn't. She comes back.
Yeah.
And it's like,
God.
so painful. Fellas, you ever gotta
So sad.
leave your girlfriend so you can kill your boyfriend?
Literally. Oh, God.
And she's like, it'll be fine. Like, you'll have other guardians. And she's like, they won't be you. And it's like,
It's just like, what? Ferrero, aren't there like 3 more books in this?
Right.
What in the world are we supposed to do here? But anyways, that's very sad.
Yeah.
There's no resolution here.
No.
And also Mason is moving on.
Yeah, she gets one last Mason. He's like fully transparent now and just kind of like withering in and out a little bit. And she's like, hey, you know, I'm glad that you're finally moving on. You know, seems like you're overdue, but I'm glad you were here and like helping and you're able to find peace or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he had like a little tiny hint of a smile. And it's like,
Yeah.
my heart.
To have the audacity to end this book by saying, I set off to kill the man I loved. Like, fuck you.
How dare you?
This is absolutely how dare you.
Yeah.
So anyway, that hurts a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have a week off of reading.
Right.
So I can recover
Yeah.
before we get to the next book. Because, wow. Sending you an invoice for emotional
Yes.
But, Cody, what are we doing next week?
We are finally talking about The Batman, starring our emo king,
Folks,
Robert Pattinson.
it is finally going to be available to watch digitally, so we are going to finally review it, and I'm very excited.
It's going to be so good, so fun. We're going to have a blast.
I can't wait. I can't wait to review this fucking 3-hour movie.
Yes, yes.
I'm very excited. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Hell yeah. Thank you to Katie Black.
Ooh. Thank you to Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Oh, ow. Ooh.
Oh.
Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
Oh, Shay. Thank you to Clara Bellicott.
Thank you to Katya Karp.
Thank you to Hannah Dragomir.
Thank you to Hope Castile.
Thank you to Rachel Ashford.
Ooh, ah.
Ooh.
Thank you to Abby Ivashkov.
Ooh. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Thank you to Samara Rinaldi.
Ooh. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Thank you to my mom, your mom, all of our moms, Kelly Beck.
Wow. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Thank you to Laura Forty.
Ooh. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Thank you to Maria Swan.
Thank you to India Peach.
And last but not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
I have a fan fiction that was sent in to us this week.
Hell yeah.
This was sent in by our patron, Genevieve Morgan.
Hell yeah.
Who says, "Hi y'all. I'm working a graveyard shift now and decided to spend my time the best way I know how, fanfic. I regret to inform y'all of my unilateral decision to make this the show's problem and will be taking zero critique on this point. Such is the fun of parasocial podcast relationships. Anyways, I was listening to old episodes, a dangerous pastime, I know, and heard the plea to not find a Cars Twilight fic and set out on the hunt. Alas, this week's search of AO3 did not yield the desired query. Instead, I found a truly inspired Twilight Transformers fic."
Okay.
So this fan fiction was written by Blue 10 Spades and is titled No Mistakes. The summary is, no one questioned the imprint process. An imprint was your soulmate, the person that the Ancient Ones chose specifically for you. There were no mistakes. But when Leah imprints on not one, but 2 sports cars, a lot of questions are raised.
Okay.
So I'm going to be reading from this Twilight/Transformers fanfiction for you. When Leah got back to La Plush, it was several hours later. She had stayed in the garage, hands reaching out to stroke the hard metal of the Lamborghini in a reverent manner. Fred seemed to find it amusing, I think that's the car, and let her tinker away at it during her shift that day. Maybe it's a person. Everything's already repaired, he told her as he made his way to the front to man the shop, but have fun with Sunstreaker. He winked at her and waggled his eyebrows suggestively. And Leah had taken full advantage of the opportunity as she popped the hood and gazed lovingly at the engine it beheld. Once more, she let her fingers trace against it, and in her love-drunk state, she imagined that the Lamborghini responded with gentle vibrations. Jesus Christ, she muttered lowly to herself as she pressed against the grill more firmly. If she didn't stop now, it would legit look like she was fondling the car. Deciding to make herself useful, she grabbed a vacuum and moved to clean Sunstreaker's interior. But once she settled herself inside, she found herself rubbing against the leather interior as she leaned down to vacuum microscopic particles from the floor. When she realized she was indeed rubbing herself wantonly against an inanimate object, she froze and retreated into herself, mind firmly focused on vacuuming. But when she found her hand reaching out to trace the seams of the leather, she quickly jumped out. Why the hell did I imprint on a car? And one that doesn't even belong to me? End scene.
Wow. I love that.
Genevieve, I can't believe that you just made me read that. But I feel like that might be somebody's something. So that's available for you to read.
Go off.
If that's there. I will be spending the rest of my week catching up on Temptation Island because that's the trash I need in my life.
Yes.
But we will be back next week to watch The Batman and talk about it.
Ooh.
To recover from our emotional damage taken this week.
Yes.
Well, as we say here in the Pacific Northwest.
Get bit.
And get whipped.
Ooh. Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.